Alright lads, welcome back to the channel. So, I asked a question on Twitter over the weekend, what's everybody playing? And I shared a snippet of Bulletstorm, and I'm probably replaying this again for maybe the 20th time at this stage. I've probably replayed it the most game I can think of in the last decade on pretty much any platform you can think of. PS4, PS5, Xbox, PC, Switch even. There's a Switch version called Duke of Switch. I have so many copies of this game. I think I may have bought this digitally, physically, fuck's sake, about 7 or 8 times at this stage. To me, it's one of the most replayable first-person shooters I can recall over the last decade, and weirdly I haven't talked about it on the channel, so I thought it would make real sense to try and do that today. So what I got is I got a bit of combination of SteamDeck footage and some PC footage, and let's just maybe share my thoughts on, you know, maybe where people may have not picked this game up and the reasons why when it came out. And it's such a shame because this game, it really is, it's a timeless classic. It's actually getting better with age, in my opinion. So let's kick into this. Now I want to just briefly start with the graphics. Aesthetically speaking, there is no difference between the full clip edition and the original that launched in 2011, but they did enhance the lighting. But what I gotta say is, even just playing the full clip edition, the lighting is stunning. Game looks still amazing, to be honest. And as I said, because nothing structurally has changed, it just goes back to the design of the actual original game, and just aesthetically it just stands the test of time. Now maybe just to roll back quickly to the game's release. As I said, this came out in 2011. Absolutely nobody bought it. Like, I think it was only like 1 million copies sold, and it was really came out at a time when everybody was mad into these cookie cutter shooting gallery FPS games, all based off Modern Warfare formula, Call of Duty clones, and Call of Duty itself was getting very formula based, and it was nearly like starting to become an annual FIFA, which it is now essentially. And you know, there was a slight shift between these type of smaller tier games really happening. So I think it launched as well in a bad time. There was some weird criticism too thrown at the game. I think some of the reviews said the story was bad. I don't believe the story was bad at all. I think it has a really coherent story. And I think people got muddied with kind of some of the potty mouth humor kind of thrown in there. Now, in fairness, also there's some really bad language in this. Like it even surpasses some of my rage streams.
General fuckhead. Son of a dick!
Hold your dick for 1 second, you fungal rim job.
Holy what the hell is shit? So pull up your skirt and strap that dildo on.
Big titty blowjob models with yellow fever.
Glorious mother of shit.
The other thing that's really cool about this is there's a really strong female lead character in this game, and that wasn't really called out either from the reviews, if I can remember back. Here's just a small little snippet of Trishka and the voice actor's delivery here as well. So I think the voice acting is excellent in this, the story arc is great, and the characters are really interesting, as I said. Just have a little listen to this.
If you're lying, I'll tear your fucking throat out. If you are lying, I swear to God, I will kill you. Slowly, painfully. You will wish you died in that crash. Let's have words with the good general.
Okay, let's talk about the most important thing now about this game, and it's the gameplay. And as I said, infinitely replayable and so open-ended. And as I said, when that game came out, I don't even think people were used to this type of shooter again. You had to be creative, you had to use your mind. It wasn't just a case of simply shooting person X or Y in some kind of form of shooting gallery. The game rewards you basically for being skillful in the game, and you get skill points, SP, and you can use that in the field to upgrade your weapons and pretty much make yourself better. So basically the better you perform and the more trick shots you pull off, and there's so many of them here. I've always tried to get 100% in this, and there's always one or two I normally miss. I've got to YouTube it sometime and try and get around to maybe 100% in the game and making sure I get all the skill shots, but it's just so enjoyable approaching the combat. And that's what makes it so replayable for me, is that the variation in the combat, the way you can approach each scenario, and the weapons you can choose. Now, it's a loadout base, so you basically can hold 3 weapons. You can hold your primary weapon, which is an assault rifle, and then you can pick between a secondary and a tertiary weapon, left and right side of your backpack, essentially. And you can pick these throughout the field. And as I mentioned with the skill points, you actually can upgrade in the field in these drop pods. And to do that, you have what is the most fun and interesting inventory item pretty much added in an FPS that I can remember in a long time, which is the leash itself. So the leash allows you to actually grab pretty much anything in the world. You can interact for puzzles, but most importantly, you can interact with enemies, and you can pretty much whip them towards you. And when you whip them towards you, it slows them down, and it gives you an opportunity to pull off a skill attack. So, and over time, you can upgrade the leash. You can make it throw down and pretty much bounce up a ton of enemies up into the air, and you can start shooting them in the air, picking them off, switching weapons. Again, the creativity is for you to decide and for you to maximize your points. So like even in this instance here, you can see I threw up one guy, whipped the leash the other guy towards me, then shot him in the head, and it works like a multiplier for basis on the points of what you earn. So look, that's the gameplay. That's the gameplay broken down for me, and that's what's so fundamentally great about this game and why it's so much fun. And not to mention some of the really hilarious names for some of the bonus points that you get. Anyway, look, if you're into first-person shooters, and if you're into fun games in general, and you've not picked this up or you've not played this, I think it's so easy to get, so cheap. I think it's available on Game Pass. You probably can pick up a copy for €4 or €5, €10 max. Trust me, it's really worth your time. I don't want to use the word underrated here. It's more so that it was overlooked, and it was overlooked when it released, and the game suffered for it. It doesn't look like we're going to see a sequel. Gearbox own the license. Now they have tried to re-release, obviously, with the Duke of Switch edition. Let's just hope they consider the IP to bring it alive again. I'd love to see a sequel. The ending as well, it finishes on a little bit of a cliffhanger, but plenty of room to grow the story and the universe and the characters within it. So yeah, fingers crossed we see something in the future. Anyway guys, if you like this style of video, if you like this style of kind of, let's call it a mini review, thoughts video, whatever you want to call it, let me know if you've played Bulletstorm already. Let me know if you've not played it down in the comments. Share your thoughts about the game if you know either way. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video guys. Thanks for watching.